So today I'm going to make a honey roasted plum and almond cake. I just happen to have some plums that are just begging to be used up, and I thought this would be perfect. Very first thing that we're going to do is get our plums into a pan and add some honey and a few other ingredients and get them into the oven so that we can get that kind of toasty, roasty flavor on them. I'm simply going to halve these and remove the pits, and that way the garnish in the cake will actually look really, really nice. So for this cake today, I'm going to use 6 whole plums. And these are of the black plum variety. Okay, so once we have our plums in our pan, we're going to add a little bit of butter. I'm going to add a squeeze of lemon juice over top of them. And we're going to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons, maybe even more, of honey. We're so fortunate to have a family supplier of beautiful honey, so we use honey a fair bit in all of our baking and cooking in general. So in goes our honey. Now once these are done roasting, it's going to end up with a bit of a syrup in the bottom of the pan, and we will use that to as a garnish for our plum cake. Just a little bit more. Now I have the oven on to 400 degrees right now, so we're going to pop this into the oven and we're going to check on it every kind of 4 or 5 minutes. And actually one thing that I didn't mention that I'm going to add to my roasting plums is a little bit of cardamom. And cardamom is a natural pear flavor with plums, so we're going to get those into the plums as well, and that will add to a really nice, unique flavor for our roasted plums. So now we can go ahead and make our cake, our almond cake. And we're going to start by adding half a cup of butter and half a cup of sugar. We're going to use our beaters to blend this until it's creamed. And once our butter and sugar has been creamed together, we're going to add 1 egg at a time. We're going to add 2 eggs, but beating in between each addition of an egg. And then to that mixture, we're going to add 1 cup of ground almonds, half a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of almond extract, the zest of 1 lemon, and about half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And last but certainly not least, 1/4 cup of our family honey. And we're going to fold all this together. Okay, and there's our roasted plums. They look delicious. And they're just starting to get tender. And you can see we got this very vibrant syrup in the bottom of the pan, which will be wonderful for garnishing. I'm just going to give these a flip and we'll let them cool slightly. Okay, so we have a springform pan. I've buttered it and lined it with parchment paper so it will be easy to come out. And I'm going to place the plum halves on the bottom of the pan, cut side down. That is a thing of beauty already. Now we're going to cover this with our almond cake batter. Okay, our cake is ready to go into the oven, 400 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. All right, so there is our honey roasted plum and almond cake. We're gonna let this cool down and we are going to unveil it. I'm gonna serve it upside down so that we get those beautiful plums after this has cooled a bit. Okay, it's time for the big reveal. So we're gonna run something around the outside of this to make sure that the cake is going to release from the outside before we remove the ring. We're going to actually turn it upside down. So this looks good already, but of course we have the parchment paper we're going to peel back. Wow. That exceeded my expectations. That's beautiful. I have to say I'm pretty darn happy with that. That's beautiful. The color of the plums and the caramel that was created from the plums is amazing. We're gonna serve this cake with a caramelized honey yogurt ice cream, and that's gonna just pair so well with this.